I know I'm late to this, but I only recently found out about it, and I really wanted to talk about it because it meant something to me, and it is serious, but I also think that this guy deserves, a proper send-off. So for anyone who doesn't know, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kazuki Takahashi, recently tragically passed away. And it's not even so much the fact that he passed away, but the way he passed away, which is really something. This man gave his life trying to save a group of people from drowning. He didn't know these people. He came upon them, and he went out of his way to try to rescue them. The man was an actual hero, and he tragically lost his life in doing so. But, it's a good way to go. It's something that, he'll likely be remembered for, and it's a good thing to be remembered for. And good on him. I hope he had a good life. From sources I read, he was having a very good retirement, so that's nice. And the man, I truly believe the world was a better place with him in it, because he had a very positive impact on my life. Yu-Gi-Oh! Did a lot for me growing up. I used to watch the show every Saturday morning that I got the chance. My dad, wouldn't let me watch it if he caught me watching it, but I always got up earlier than him, so I saw it. And the card game is actually the first trading card game I ever learned how to play, because I really wanted to, because I thought it was really awesome, and it really got me into tabletop games like that. And as you guys know, I love mythology. And, I got into Greek mythology when I was very young, and I got a little more into Egyptian and Norse mythology because of Age of Mythology, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was also a big influence for me getting a lot more interested in Egyptian mythology. And I've been collecting and playing the game since I was a little kid. I don't know if anybody remembers these. These were a big, you get the starter deck and you get a whole bunch of packs. And I kept this one because it was a good thing to keep a whole bunch of cards in. I have so many cards in here. Oh, and there they go. But yeah, I love this thing. I've held on to that since I was maybe 8 or 7. And I still have my main deck here, little deck box. I got my little dragon deck with I made sure to get 3 different printings of Blue Eyes. It's a good deck. I was growing up as a kid. I had a Yu-Gi-Oh! Poster on my wall that I loved. It had it had Yu-Gi, and then it had 70 different monsters on it. And sometimes when I was sad, I would literally just stare at that poster, and I would invent stories in my head of those monsters fighting each other or interacting or stuff like that, and it would help distract me, because I had a lot of depression growing up, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a good escape for that. I had a lot of forms of escape, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a really great one. And it also even helped me in middle school, because in middle school I was getting kind of viciously bullied, but I did find some kids who were into Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I pulled out my old deck, and I actually kicked a lot of ass in middle school, and I won a whole bunch of new cards. I think when I was in middle school was about the time Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was starting, and so there were all these new elemental heroes, and I was like, what the hell is this? But I still managed to take them down with my dragon deck, so that was fun. And also, as a lot of you know, I'm currently making my own game now, and I wouldn't be doing that if it weren't for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a huge inspiration on the game I'm making, Immortals, because when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved it. But a part of me was thinking, man, I wish there was a version of Yu-Gi-Oh! For just mythology, because I loved the mythical characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I wanted more of it, because, the vast majority of Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters are completely original characters, but I wanted more of it, and it inspired me to start making my own little games as a kid. I made a little Calvin and Hobbes card game, which was awful, it never went anywhere. But then, a long time later, I started actually making cards for my own card game Immortals, and originally I was using Yu-Gi-Oh! Templates to make them, because I was making them on my computer on Microsoft Paint, and it's just, and now that game is so close to becoming a reality, and so many of you guys are so excited for that game to come out, And I think when it comes out, it's going to do great because you guys keep saying, I want your game, Mythology Guy. I want like what you're making. It looks so great. But none of that would be going on if it weren't for Yu-Gi-Oh! So I just want everyone to know that if my game comes out and you love my game that I'm making, keep in mind you also have Yu-Gi-Oh! To thank for that, which means you have Kazuki Takahashi to thank for that. And, you know, I don't know. I hope the man's up there right now and he's seeing this in some way, because I just want him to know that he inspired me in a lot of ways and he helped me escape in a lot of ways. Like, even though the show was ridiculously censored, I still loved the show. I loved watching it. Manga I eventually took a look at. It's hilarious. But I love the show, I love the manga, and I love the game so much. I hate what it became later. I hate synchros, I hate XYZs, I hate links, I hate pendulums. I don't know what any of that shit is. Can I just play the old-fashioned way? I hate that all the new games are all focused on that. But regardless, this is still one of my favorite games, period, of all time. It will probably always be my favorite card game of all time. And yeah, it just... I think it took real talent to come up with a game like this. It works really well. And one thing I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the fact that even when a card doesn't have its own card effect, it still has a little... you can't really see it here, but it has a little description of the creature at the bottom. That takes a lot of passion to put that on every single card, give each creature its own lore and its own... yeah. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to pay my respects properly and make sure everyone knows that this game I'm making would not exist if it weren't for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a lot of people like who have played my game at like public like events and stuff, because I've taken it there to playtest it, have said, this feels very Magic the Gathering. And I'm happy to hear that, because I know Magic the Gathering is very popular. But guys, full disclosure, I've never played Magic the Gathering. I have no idea how that game plays. Honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the inspiration for the game. But, you know, it's cool if the game plays similar to Magic the Gathering. That's not a bad thing to be compared to. But yeah, it's... I owe a lot to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm very, very happy Yu-Gi-Oh! Exists and existed at a time when it really had a positive impact on my life. I used to just try so hard. I was in this little learning program when I was a kid called Score, and one of the prizes they had if you like did well on your little tests and stuff was like they had all these little, you know, dollar store prizes to choose from. One of them was Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. I always wanted the Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. I was like, give me those Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. And yeah, so it led to me having literally like thousands and thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. So yeah, meant a lot to me. Did the franchise mean something to you? Like, let me know, because like I'm very passionate about this franchise and I care about it. You know, I know Ackman recently did a video on it. I'm curious to see that. But yeah, I really hope that my game can become something nearly as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! Someday. It's a big dream to have, but I'm still gonna have it. And I love you guys for all the support you give me on my game, and I really hope Kazuki had that kind of support when he was doing this. I'm sorry, I know this is kind of a bummer video, but I just really wanted to get my feelings out there. Thank you guys for everything. Rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi. You're a hero, and I hope things are going well for you up there. Bye, guys.